for the week of May 25th to May 29th. This is for Lesson 2 for students following the Bridges curriculum. Here's what we're going to be learning about today. Today we are going to add or subtract 10 from two-digit numbers using patterns on a hundreds chart. We've been working with addition and subtraction in first grade. We're going to be working with two-digit numbers today. So that means there's a number in the tens place and a number in the ones place. We're going to be looking for patterns on a 100s chart. Let's think about it. What patterns do you see? What are the next three numbers on the number line? Well, I see 0, 5, 10, 15. I recognize that pattern. Those numbers are counting by 5. Each time we have a number on the number line, it increases by 5. So 15 and 5 more is 20. 5 more is 25. And 5 more is 30. Do you notice any patterns when we skip count by 5? You might have noticed that every ones place either has a 0 or a 5 as its digit. So when we're skip counting by 5, starting at 0, we should make sure that we only have 5s or 0s as the digit in our ones place. Create your own pattern on a number line and share it with someone else. Ask them what comes next. You can use the number line that's below to help you draw one. Today, we're going to be looking at how a hundreds chart can help us recognize place value patterns when adding and subtracting 10 or 1. But first, let's review a little bit of what we know already about place value. In a two-digit number, the position of the digit in the number determines its value. The first number on the right is in the ones place, and then the number directly next to it is in the tens place. The 2 in the ones place in the number 52 stands for 2 ones with a value of 2. The 5 in the tens place stands for 5 tens or 50. So we get the total of 52 from the value of the tens being 50 and the value of the ones being 2. Now that we've taken a look at some place value patterns that we've learned, let's take a look at what they look like on a hundreds chart. As you move across each row from left to right, the numbers increase by 1. So you can add 1 by counting on to the right, and that will work for any number. So for example, if I needed to figure out what 35 and 1 more is, I can just look directly to the next number of 36. As you move across each row from right to left, the numbers decrease by 1. So you can subtract 1 by counting back to the left. You'll notice that if we go from 56 to the left back 1 number, it's like taking away 1 because we're on 55. We can also notice some patterns by going up and down rows on our hundreds chart or columns. As you move down each column from top to bottom, the numbers increase by 10. So you might notice some patterns as we go down the column on our hundreds chart. Let's take a look. The number in the ones place stays the same because when we just add 110, we're not adding any ones. However, the number in the tens place increases by 110. So you can see from 2 tens to 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, all the way down. So if we want to add 10, we can do so by jumping down a row. As we move up each column from bottom to top, the numbers decrease by 10 or get smaller. The digit in the tens place gets smaller by 1. And again, the digit in the ones place remains the same. So over here, you can see that all of the numbers in this column have a 9 in the ones place. And the tens place is decreasing by 1. 6 tens, 5 tens, 4 tens, 3 tens, 2 tens, 1 10, and no tens. So we can subtract 10 by jumping back a row. So here are some patterns that we can figure out by looking at our numbers on the hundredths chart. For example, we could start here with 54. Look at the numbers around it. We jump back a 10 and we take away 1 10, so this number is 10 less. If I wanted to figure out 10 more, I would count up a column. If I want to see what 1 less than 54 is, I just have to go 1 space to the left. And if I wanted to see what 1 more is, I would just count 1 space to the right. Now it's time for you to practice on your own. Complete the number puzzles by filling in the missing numbers. Use the place value patterns on the hundredths chart that we just talked about. Add 10 more, or find 10 less, or find 1 more, or 1 less. Use the numbers in the puzzle as a clue to help you figure out what's missing. Check your math course in Schoology for your Try It practice assignment. You can use a 120 chart to help you. Make sure you ask your teacher if you have questions. Show your teacher how much you have learned today. Check your math course in Schoology for your assessment. You'll be completing more number puzzles using the place value patterns that you learned about today. You can use a 120 chart to help you. Make sure you submit your work to your teacher. If you're looking for extra practice or an extension of today's learning, you can complete 10 more or 10 less picture grid number 1. For this activity, you'll need 3 color crayons or markers, purple, green, or orange. If you don't have those colors, you can substitute something else. Check Schoology for your assignment. Thanks for tuning in to BCPS-TV today for the Grade 1 math lesson for Bridges students. See you next time.